How many people have done generative art? Have you played with it mid-journey? If you haven't played with it yet, I strongly encourage you. I heard someone over here likes wine. In the evening on a Friday, yeah, drink a few bottles of wine, listen to your favorite music, and anyone in the room can produce results like this. So my process, I'll come up with a concept, and then I will put it into OpenAI, I'll put it into Claude to write a very sophisticated prompt. So this particular image was made with 20 sentences that I did not write, but the initial concept came from me. So I'll take a simple concept and I'll give it to OpenAI and have it flesh out. So to seed the next conversation, assuming that you can all do that, what if I offered a $100,000 prize, or let's make it $1 million prize? So tonight you all go and work on your AI generated headshots. You will submit them, and we will pick a winner. We'll have AI decide which, and you can read the details of the competition. Someone will win, and someone in the room might be clever, and based on everything we've talked about with AI, they might just decide, I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to have AI win this whole competition. Because I could do it as a human, but you can actually give the entire competition, and you can give images as examples. But if you do that, it will produce this image, which I think is entertaining, because 5 years ago, this image would have been jaw-dropping. Everyone would have thought, this is incredible. I'll pay $1,000 for this or more. If you look at the AI art before, they got a lot of attention. Today, it's garbage. It's laughable. You wouldn't even consider it. So you quickly can see you're not going to win the competition. And this goes back to the discussion that Ed was introducing around agents. The reason you're not winning it is this is called zero-shot learning. Input and output. There was no reasoning. There was no adaptation. But if you bring in agents, reasoning, and adaptation, this is the submission. So this is coming from AI. So if you contrast that with the last one, this is much better. And if you zoom in, there's a room reflected in the eye. So I'm going to show you a few examples. One of the things that is not appreciated, because we're going through this quickly, AI read the competition. And the competition is rewarding submissions that are demonstrating complex physical phenomena. So the room reflected in the eye, and I like to kid, do you know what's in the room? All of us. We could have waved. I'm just kidding. But the eye is the window to the soul, and we start having rooms and eyes. That is kind of bizarre. Like it really kind of blurs what is possible. So if we go through a few of these, the complex shadows going around across the woman's face, AI is doing that intentionally to win the competition. And I'm a chemical engineer with my foundation, so this is my favorite of all, because this is showing off some profound physical phenomena that many people would say, actually, I think people are starting to realize that this is happening. But in this image, if we zoom in, you can see micro hairs around the nose. It's demonstrating ray tracing. So the hair floating on the surface of the water and the way the light is falling on the face. And this brings up this concept of knowledge topics that exist inside these LLM structures. And this is important when we think about what agents can do. Is anyone else shocked by this image coming from generative AI? Like for me, from my background, I can't believe that you're looking at ray tracing, bubbles, and the physical phenomena like the micro hairs around the nose coalescing. So changing gears a little bit, you can actually take an agent, you can take a mission statement, and you can have it produce a structure of all the code for your project. I don't think anyone in the room is surprised that it will produce a file tree, right? But you can actually have it build the system. So an agent can go through every single item in that file tree and write the code with full context of the progress that it's making. And you can also have it do a refinement agent, you could have a security agent, you can have a modularization agent, you can have a Q&A agent, you can design many agents to sweep through a code system. And if you do it once, you can do it twice. And this is bringing up one of the problems that humans have when you're competing against these systems. So which one's better? Which one did your engineer provide you? Well, the engineer provided you the one that was most similar to how they've worked yesterday. Even the smartest engineers, the way they go about doing things are suboptimal. And if you can do it twice, you can do it 42 times. So if you built a project 42 times, you're looking at something that I think is pretty remarkable. What's the likelihood that your engineer built this system? Well, the number's fallen, right? No human engineer has time to give you that system. Everything a human builds is suboptimal for the most part.